Man, we have got some juicy stuff to dive into in this video. Jake Paul just went through a $4 million renovation on his mansion in Puerto Rico. Sylvester Stallone is in the process of buying a $25 million mansion for his daughters. And Fredrik from Million Dollar Listing is moving back to New York. Maybe. In today's episode, let's dive into some of the top celebrity real estate headlines from the last couple weeks. We're going to kick it off with a bang today. David and Victoria Beckham are in contract to buy an $80 million mansion in Florida. Sources have shared with The Real Deal that the power couple are in contract for this 9-bedroom home. It's over 14,000 square feet. It's located in Miami Beach. And this was actually a spec home by developer Nicolas de la Motte, I think is how you pronounce it. The house comes with a gym, a spa, a home theater, 124 feet of water frontage, a swimming pool, an outdoor kitchen, and a lounge. I hate to say it, but we don't have a whole lot for photos of this one other than a handful of renderings that The Real Deal put out on their website, starting with this shot, which I'm not even sure what part of the house this is. It kind of looks like a kitchen. These aren't the best renderings in the world, but they'll do. It looks like we're working with some oak flooring in here. This is probably one of the living or lounge areas in the house. A bit of a dropped ceiling in the kitchen, which is nice. So this must be their show kitchen, I'd guess. Around the corner and down this hall leads us to some room with amazing views of the water. Over here behind the staircase, there's actually like a little pond or something. That's pretty cool. The house comes with a spa / massage area. Here's what it looks like from the water view. Again, not the best renderings in the world, but pretty cool looking architecture. Here we get a little bit closer up. I love these big overhangs. I love the wood detail here in the soffits. The negative edge swimming pool, that's nice too. From this angle, it doesn't even look like that big of a lot. Maybe a half acre would be my guess. Another like lounge seating area. I'm sure these pocket doors are built into basically every room they can be that has access to the outdoors. Nice linear fireplace here in the back. And that's all we got. I'm noticing throughout these photos too, there's a lot of built-in like cabinetry and shelving throughout this house, which is pretty rare. You don't typically see developers spend that extra money in these spec homes, but it really warms up the spaces. It's a nice touch. Sticking to the East Coast theme, Fredrik from Million Dollar Listing just picked up a $3.3 million condo in New York. It might seem like a crazy time to buy in New York because the luxury real estate market out there isn't exactly thriving, but he might have just looked at this as a really good time to land a deal. Fredrik said that this building only has 28 units and is already completely sold out from off-market transactions. You got to admit, it's pretty crazy that the developer was able to sell out this building in this market before the building was even finished. Fredrik's unit in particular sits on the 4th floor. It's got 1,400 square feet and it is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Check it out. I go to Google Street View a lot when I'm putting these videos together, and this one was kind of funny. The image is from July 2022, so this is definitely outdated, but right here is where Fredrik's new condo is located. I found this Instagram post that tells us that exterior work is actually nearing the finish line. It doesn't look anything like it did in Google Street View. The building is on track to be 125 feet tall. There's 63,000 total square feet of living space spread out over those 28 units. There's some signs of construction here at the top. The property, of course, comes with its own website, which is typically loaded up with like renderings and marketing material, but this one is not, probably because they're already sold out. They do say that they're paying homage to the area's industrial aesthetic with the red brick facade and the arched windows and tiered gardens. I can appreciate whenever architects do that just as much as I can appreciate like super harsh contemporary architecture that almost look like it just came from outer space. It's nice whenever an architect builds a building out to just blend in with the surrounding architecture. Here's one of the renderings. It doesn't look like this with all the grown-in vines quite yet, but maybe it will in a couple of years. And this is the only interior rendering that we get of the units, but it's nice. It has a different feel than most new construction buildings in New York City. The last thing I tell us is, of course, like just about anywhere in New York City, if you live here, you're going to be walking distance to a bunch of restaurants and clubs and theaters and boutiques and galleries and all that stuff. New York City is one of the most walkable places in the world. Jake Paul just completely redesigned his property in Puerto Rico, and I'm not gonna lie, it turned out pretty nice. Jake originally picked this house up in 2023 in an area called Dorada. He paid $16 million for it at the time, but he's done some extensive updates, and in his latest YouTube video tour, he said that he's added as much as $4 million worth of value here. Now, we don't have any photos of this one, so we're gonna have to just look at a couple of highlights from Jake Paul's video together. The video title is My New $20 Million House Tour. If you guys wanna see the whole thing, just go to his channel and check it out. All right, he already gets some props. This place is awesome.
All right, come on in. So the main thing that we changed in this house was the entrance. Before, there was glass right here, and it kind of like blocked this whole area in. And so when you walked into the house, it felt like you just got blocked. But now it's opened up and it's really changed this whole entire house.
So you had this big wall of windows when you walk through the front door. Not exactly sure why he felt so claustrophobic when you had all these windows looking out to the backyard, but he moved those back 15 or 20 feet. Doesn't sound like much, but that's a pretty big update. Not only did he add a lot of square footage, but just like the structural engineering that had to go into that, that's a big upgrade.
If you remember from the old house tour, this area was cut off, and it really closed the house up. And Adi, who's my interior designer, Interiors by D Design Group, she absolutely crushed this. She came up with this idea so that it's open. I know you're somewhere.
Very cool. I'm a big fan of split rooms up that way. It's pretty popular in like mid-century modern design where you split rooms up with these like cool wooden or steel dividers. It's kind of what he did here, but with shelves. I like it.
This is probably my favorite area of the house. Just the art, furniture, the rug, my homie over here chilling. It just feels very, very luxurious.
He's clearly very much into art. He's got a lot of unique pieces.
This is where the vlogs are edited, the videos are edited, everyone working on a daily basis. We have a team of about 6 or 7 on the content side of things, and everyone's always hustling and grinding in here.
That is crazy that he's got like a full-time staff of 6 or 7 people constantly editing, but I guess that's just what you have to do when you're someone with 20 million subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, that's Jake Paul's house. Let's get to the next story. For our next story, we have somebody named Angie Katsanevas who just listed her house in Utah, which to be honest, I don't even know who this lady is. Apparently she's from that show, The Real Housewives, but who cares if I know her or not? The house is awesome. She's asking $4.5 million. Let's check it out. So it's a 4-bedroom house. It has 6,300 square feet. It's perched up in the mountains. Very modern house. It was built in 2020, which is when these guys bought it. I'm wondering if they shot these listing photos right after a heavy rain, or did the photographer hose down all the concrete to make it look cooler? This area here, I think, is like a courtyard, because you can see the front door is just right over there to the left. So we got a fire feature and a dining table behind the fire feature with amazing views. Inside, glass everywhere, tons of natural light. From what I understand, these guys are beauty salon owners. They own a bunch of beauty salons across a couple of states. Never seen a kitchen island like this. I don't know if I love it or hate it. It's pretty cool. This is kind of unique detail. So typically you have dual vanities in the master bathroom of these high-end homes and 2 closets, like a his and her closet situation. So we do have that in here. We've got sink, vanity, mirror, closet, but then look around the corner. It's kind of like a mirror image. So around the corner, another sink, mirror, and closet. And yeah, you kind of notice throughout the rest of the house, the finishes are very consistent. There's a lot of similar tones that happen throughout the whole house. The interior designer who picked out all these tiles and wall colors and cabinets and countertops and stuff, they did a great job. Not exactly clear to me why they're selling, but $4.5 million for a house this size sounds like an absolute bargain. That's like $700 a square foot, so hopefully they get their price. This last one's a pretty wild story. Sylvester Stallone just submitted an offer on a $25 million house in the Hamptons, but not a house that he's going to be buying for himself. He's buying this one for his daughters. What's even more crazy is that Stallone never even saw this house in person. He submitted his offer, which is supposedly very close to the asking price, after just 2 video tours. Can you imagine spending $25 million on a house over FaceTime? The impression I'm getting from these articles is that his daughters Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett will live here full time together as they work on their influencer their careers. It's a new construction home, 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, about 12,000 square feet. Here's the dining area. This is another one of those new construction spec homes that doesn't even look like a spec. Like, they put some very unique details in here. It's funny, in some ways the house feels almost a little old, but that's what the developer was going for. Apparently he was very inspired by classical architecture here. He loses me a little bit with the wallpaper. I mean, I understand he's going for more of a classical feel, but to me this just feels awfully dated, to be honest. They've got a game room somewhere in this house. Again, not trying to be a hater, but come on, look at this movie theater. Like, does this look like a movie theater that belongs in a $25 million new construction home? And this is what it looks like outside. Heated pool, detached in-ground spa. We even have coffered ceilings on the back patio. So there you have it. Nice place. Very lush landscaping, very private, huge lot. It's over an acre. It's actually not right on the water though, which is pretty surprising, especially at this price point. It's about a mile walk away. That's a wrap for today's episode. Remember, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of the amazing content coming out here on the Estate Media YouTube channel. I'll see you guys next time.